Look who's here. My main man, John Brazer of the Fightins.
What's up, cuz?
So, what are you doing, buddy?
Good, all good.
You
Just
look
got
good.
back.
He's in Clearwater. How long were you in Clearwater for?
I was there about a month. But
About
as
a
you
month.
know, I have I'm of Cuban descent, so I get the natural bronze tan.
You got
right?
the Hemingway.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
everyone says with my gray beard, I look like Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you look good.
rocking that look.
Yeah, man. Dude, I see you, and I think beautiful weather, and I think baseball. And it's the greatest. First of all, real quick, before you do that, so you got to tell the story. So you were at WIP yesterday, and you were in a free throw shooting contest.
Yes. Well, first of all,
And I didn't know you played ball.
I don't. So last week, someone from WIP said, "Hey, John, we're having a celebrity free throw shooting contest at the field house. Coaches versus Cancer. Do you want to play?" I said, I play ice hockey.
You're right. You're a hockey guy.
Do you know anybody who's good in ice hockey
No.
and good in basketball?
No.
And
it's either you are a great hockey player or a basketball player, like one or the other.
every one of my
Because you
friends
grow
that
up playing
every one of my
or
friends
two.
that played ice hockey who are great athletes stink at basketball.
Yeah.
So anyway, the last time I played hoops was probably shooting free throws on Keith Lynham's driveway in 7th grade. So I said, you know what? I said yes too quick, and then all of a sudden I started panicking because And so 2 days ago, I got in from spring training, went right to work, and I get home at about 8 o'clock, and I said I got to go to the gym. So called up a buddy of mine, Todd Eby. I said, you got to meet me at the gym. We're going over there, and we got to shoot some. You got to help me, I need some practice.
dunked the holy
so I went
water.
out there for about 45 minutes, and he's telling me to use my legs,
Yeah.
use the elbow, and I was okay. And I get in there. My first round yesterday morning, first round was against Barrett Brooks, who Jamie just told me that Barrett Brooks
Yeah.
played at K-State.
Yeah.
Right? So
No, Barrett's a baller.
I did not do, I did 4 out of 10, which whatever. But Barrett, I think, got 2. And then Ruben, I faced Ruben. Now, that was a lot of pressure in the quarterfinals.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Going up against
I faced
Ruben.
Ruben in soccer in high school, right? We went
Yeah.
to rival high
Yeah.
schools. Ruben was
Yeah, I
the MVP.
did know that.
And
Yeah.
Ruben was the MVP of the Interact. So we did rock, paper, scissors. See who's going to go first. I lost. Ruben said, you go first. And I got on a roll. You know how I guess you get on a roll?
Oh, yeah.
And I made
You start to feel it.
I made 6 out of 10, which for me is really good. And Ruben, I think, made 4. So I advanced there. Now the other half, Harold Jensen went down in the quarters. Mike from Temple, I always forget his name.
Frieswick.
Thank you. He went down in the quarters. Pat, who's Pat from the other guy, St. Joe's, from the 2004 team. Pat somebody, I can't remember his last name. Spencer, no, not Spencer. Whatever. He goes down because that was the loaded bracket. So
that was the pro bracket.
Right. So the loaded tweet was, it was like, so-and-so, hey, Hammer's taking on John Brazer, after defeating Harold Jensen, which makes it look like I'm better than Harold Jensen, national champion Harold Jensen.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Listen, I teach my kids. So I coach 5th grade basketball at St. Margaret's. And I teach them, front rim.
elbow up.
Right. Front rim, use your legs, right? Couple dribbles, deep breath.
I do the dribbles. Just
right. Couple dribbles, just, make your feet. Everything's at your feet.
Yeah.
It's like every sport, right? Baseball, right? You're
Legs,
hitting.
yep, feet and
it's
legs.
It's all your feet, right? It's like how you field all your feet. Same thing in basketball, right? You put your feet down, and then
I did the stagger. I didn't have both feet on the line.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
Oh, you're not? So
No.
You're not supposed to stagger?
no. Well, you're supposed to stagger.
Oh.
You're not supposed to have both feet on the line.
Yeah, I needed a little stagger to
No,
get a
yeah.
little momentum.
No, because if you're right-handed, you want to have your right leg up just a little bit, your right foot up a little bit this way, because you're going to guide. This is your guide hand, right? And you're just aiming front rim.
My goal was literally don't throw an air ball because there's fans in the crowd and it's live radio. Don't throw an air ball or don't hit the backboard without hitting the rim. And I exceeded.
Good job, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Proud of you.
Appreciate that.
So let's talk Fightins, man.
Sure.
I'm so excited. First of all, what's new at Xanadu? Xanadu
ballpark.
is my Citizens Bank Park.
Well, there's a lot of things new, tons of things new. You're going to see a mural up at the CP Rankin rooftop, which is pretty cool. You're going to see the new out-of-town scoreboard is still going to be an out-of-town scoreboard, but now it's a big display field level that's going to have all kinds of stats. And
I heard that
everything.
that thing is amazing, right?
Yes, it's going to have, all kind. I mean, every stat possible. Stats that I don't even know were out there. A lot of the food items are going to be pretty cool. You're going to have a Schwarbomber Part 2, which is basically a cheeseburger, a lot of other stuff on there, but the fried egg on top. You're going to have some stuff that's not good for your. I don't think your cardiologist would recommend. It's a funnel cake fry sundae that's out there. So,
Julia.
People that tasted it said it is unbelievable.
Julia, she's dying. Julia, our executive producer, is dying.
Yes, and she's still young. She doesn't need to see a cardiologist, so we're good there. And there's going to be a Casamigos bar for those tequila fans out there. For those whiskey fans, Four Walls, which is Rob McElhenney's. Yep, we're going to have. There's going to be a Kona Big Wave bar at a Pass and Stowe. So
really,
yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun food options, drink options. Again, a lot of things going on.
That place is the greatest.
And, the cool thing is that you won't believe it. We are the oldest ballpark in the National League East. Can you believe that?
Right, because Atlanta's new, the Met City Field, obviously,
and then Florida and Washington. Yeah, so it's amazing that it's 20-year anniversary. So on April 12th this year, that's the 20th anniversary of the first game, and that was Randy Wolf. So we're going to have,
it was Wolfie.
We're going to have a big commemoration of all of the 20th anniversary. There's going to be merchandise in the New Era store. There's going to be
nobody does ceremonies like the Phillies. Like, see, the Phillies. I don't care. Nobody does ceremonies, like commemorative nights. Like, you guys are the greatest. Like, I love whatever ceremony is always done great.
Well, I think Bill Giles started it. Larry Schenk is a big part of that. And then we kind of took
Larry's a good man.
And we all took the mantle from that. So we've got a lot to build on. But yes, we're going to be throughout every Citizens Bank Business Person Special. We're going to do a lot of, we're going to have someone who has a cool moment of the 20 years. Again, Randy Wolf will be the first one. Wow. He's throwing out the first pitch on April 12th. And then throughout the year for those Business Person Specials, we're going to have a different person. We're gonna have video tributes. We're gonna have a lot of things. So you're gonna see.
You gotta get Chase, right? Like Chase,
Well, Chase is busy in London, and we're also going to London, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
dude,
can't wait.
Phillies in London is unbelievable.
It's a lot safer there than.
You got to go to the Passyunk Avenue bar.
I've been there. I was there when the Eagles played the Jacksonville Jaguars, and JP Teddy's a good buddy of mine, and I've already talked to him, and hopefully we're going to be doing some things out there.
You'll see Sam from England, our buddy Sam, who's a big Yoda Sam. He's a big Phillies 4-for-4 guy. People don't know that you spent a lot of time in England.
I spent a year in Manchester, England. I played and coached lacrosse over there with 9 other Americans. 7 of us were up in Manchester, 3 down in London. So I did get a chance to spend a lot of time in London back then. And then since then, my father-in-law is a huge Anglophile, so we've been back like every 5 years or so.
That's cool.
We're going this year. I think we're going to go out, take a look. The team's away afterwards. I think we're going to head out to Cornwall and that way.
Nice.
Yeah, Bath, Cornwall,
that's cool,
Cotswolds,
man.
and all that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So is the bunting ready at the ballpark? Because I'm a bunting guy.
Well, yes, because we were planning on being today. So but there's still some last minute. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of. I love opening day, and you're right that. To me, opening day is obviously the beginning of the season, but it's just the pageantry and you have the tradition. Yes. So like for tomorrow, we're going to have Kane Cowles, who sang the national anthem in front of his dad's statue. No matter how many times he does it, it's still chilling knowing that he's doing that, in front of his late father. When they unfurl that giant American flag, like the picture and just that ceremony. And then the Philadelphia Boys Choir has been doing God Bless America for years. When we do the first pitch, there's going to be, it's Nemours Children's Health first pitch. So we're going to have a patient. So that's going to be an emotional one, but then there's going to be a surprise. I can't tell it, right? So, but everyone's going to love it. There's going to be a big surprise thrown at the first pitch tomorrow. It's not Jason Kelce and it's not Fletcher Cox because they're doing it on Saturday. So we'll see.
I think I have an idea, and I love him. Let me ask you. Listen. Baseball is, you can never project playoffs. It's a complete, utter different beast. Like the playoffs are completely different. This team is good. I love what they did. I love what Dombrowski did. I love Merrifield. Merrifield is, look at the versatility now. I mean, this club, I mean, people could pick at the 4th starter. like good luck. Like this is a great team.
Well, let me just say too that being down there and talking to the guys or hearing them being interviewed, they have a chip on their shoulder, and rightfully so. And I think they're pissed basically that it didn't end the right way the last 2 years, and they were so close last year, especially when you had the road paved. And I think they've got a chip on their shoulder, and they want to win the division. They saw how Atlanta has a tough time in our ballpark, and you get them an home field advantage. And again, by taking Wheeler off the table as far as extending him, and then you obviously dealt with Noel in the offseason, so you don't have to worry about that. We're coming in fully healthy. There's no World Baseball Classic. There's no guys coming
healthy.
injured. There's no Trey Turner's coming in new and he had to get adjusted. Or the year before that, Castellanos getting it. It's just everything. Everyone's coming in, knock on wood, fairly healthy. Even the guys that are, Kirkering pitched yesterday in the minor league game, pitched very well. He'll be coming up at some point.
I love his stuff, man. His stuff is ridiculous.
But I think the bullpen is about as solid as we've had in a long time when you've got 6 guys that can close. We extended Strom, so you've got lefties like Strom and Soto. You got Sir Anthony, who, he's shown flashes of being unbelievable. Alvarado, right? You've got, again, Kirkering, and I'm sure I've missed, Jeff Hoffman, who became huge weapon last year. And even Marte's pitched great in spring. We'll see if that translates. So Ortiz, and I mean, it's a solid bullpen. There's not one weakness where you say, oh, wait, when we get to that, 8th guy, 9th guy, we're in trouble.
Well, that's why I look at it and I go, all right, look, you got, 1, 2, 3, Ranger healthy now. It's a big deal.
Ranger, I think Rangers, 2 years he had visa issues. He had World Baseball Classic, little injury issues. Ranger Suarez pitch is about as good as you can get in spring. I think if you're going to ask me who's going to big time step up and become a superstar, I think it's Ranger Suarez. I mean, you could say Stott or Bohm or some of the other guys. I think he's ready to kind of step up.
Well, the thing that we always talk about when it comes to Ranger is, just his blood pressure and how low it is during the playoffs.
Right.
Like
he's like Cliff Lee.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I look at him and I just go, he's got the perfect temperament to dominate.
And then speaking of, how about Zach? How would you like to be a Braves fan or a Braves player, and all of a sudden you're facing Zach Wheeler, who's arguably is one of the best pitchers. Jason Stark threw out a stat that he said of all playoff pitchers in the history of baseball that have had at least 14 starts, he is number 1 in WHIP and number 1 in batting opponents or batting average against. Number 1 of all time with 14 starts. So then you throw in he's toying with a splitter, right? And he was asked, "Have you thrown that splitter before?" He said, "Yeah, I usually throw it 5 times a season." And someone asked, "Well, like, give me an example. Like, when did you throw it?" He said, "Well, I had a 3-2 count on Freddie Freeman, and Freddie Freeman, is probably guessing I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Well, he's not guessing a splitter, and I threw that splitter, and he's never seen that. So, he's not afraid to do that. So you throw in a splitter, and then you throw in a cutter for Sanchez.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Right? And then who knows?
No, it's always about, keeping your, hitters off balance and your eye level and everything, changing everything. No, I mean, it's like, this is probably the best team. I mean, you got to go back to 2011 and the Aces, but this team has a better bullpen and is deeper,
Well, deeper. You said Merrifield. Merrifield, one is a phenomenal athlete. If anybody, I know he played in the American League for all those years.
I'm a big fan. I loved him. I wanted to get him earlier. He's a perfect. He plays every position.
Yep.
He gives you all the depth in the world. I think it was a great.
He can relieve. He can literally take Rojas' spot in center field, relieve him a little bit. He can take the left field position. He can play second. He can play pretty much any position other than catcher and pitcher. So, and he's a veteran, very calm presence. Guy's got speed. Guy can hit,
and he can rake. And he's a line drive hitter. Like he's a professional. Like he's the guy, first and third one out. And you need that run home. He's getting the run home.
Yep. Yeah. And again, it gives guys breaks. If you want to get Stott off his feet, if you want to get Marsh off his feet, he gives you that break.
Now the greatest. I love Bryce to death. Like one of the reasons why I love this team, like this is him. Bro and I were talking about it. Like that dude is so us. I mean, the fact that he just embraces our culture. I love the kid. I do.
I met his dad. Well, I met his dad a couple years ago, but last year I went into his suite, or saw him in a suite, and I said, I got to tell you this. I said, your son gets Philly. I grew up in Philly.
Yeah.
I said, I've never seen a free agent, superstar that has come in and gotten Philadelphia like he has. And I know some people say pandering. It is not pandering. And he even said,
no,
it's not. I mean, he gets it, and he wants. When he said, and we said this last year on the radio, when he said, I wanted to sign a long-term contract with a no trade because I want my kids to grow up as Philadelphia fans, as Philadelphians. Like literally, the hair on my arm just.
I know.
I was like, what? We're not used to people saying that. Or when trade.
And he's so great. Like he's such a clutch player. He's so great.
Yes,
like,
and then just in. Right. And then the way he rebounded from the injury quickly last year, the way that he embraces the fanatic, right? He says the right things. He does the right things. He's clutching the right moments. We are very blessed to have him. And it's funny, now that he's playing first base, Larry Boa said on more than a couple occasions, and I think Larry is a pretty, astute, observer of things baseball wise. He said that he wouldn't be shocked if Bryce Harper wins a Gold Glove in the near future.
Yeah, that's him.
He's that good of an athlete.
That's him. My brother, thank you so much for stopping by. First Anthony Gargano show, so I appreciate you. We go back a long way.
And we've seen a lot of cool things. We saw Matt Stairs' majestic home run, Dodger Stadium, went to Yankee Stadium, saw some cool moments. So hopefully this year we'll see some cool moments this year in the playoffs.
We will, brother. We will. I love it.
Ant.
All right.
See you, buddy.
The great John Brazer. Fightings tomorrow, opening day. Cannot wait.